we're here at the IFCBAA conference 2024, and I'm here with UAC. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us how you're enjoying the conference so far?
Sure. Mark Kellett, CEO of UAC. Conference got off to a good start last night with a social engagement. I think some of the sessions have been very informative, and we've enjoyed our time in the foyer just catching up with clients and prospective clients. So it's been good so far.
Yeah, and how about yourself?
Yeah, great to see customers, both past and emerging as well, potential customers here and there. Just good to be back out talking to the forwarders again, some of the suppliers as well. So yeah, happy to be here.
Some of the panel discussions have been really great. So what do you see in the emerging markets and how your company can help, say, our members or potential clients?
Yeah. Probably one of the biggest ones we see is in the Australian market, I think, is around export air freight in terms of screening cargo.
Yeah.
I think there's a significant gap emerging in that area, partially because I think the demands that government are placing from a racket perspective around security screening and so forth. And I think certainly there's a number of players in the sort of mid to large freight forwarding market who are even exiting their own screening facilities. And certainly that's an opportunity for UAC as a neutral wholesaler to offer export screening services as well as ULD builds and export air freight. So certainly I think that's a significant challenge in terms of maintaining registration and extending registration, because a lot of IFCBAA members are really struggling in that area.
Yeah, there's a lot of government changes and it's hard to keep up with everything that's going on, especially with regulation. So it's great that a company like yours can take that risk and burden off the forwarders.
Exactly.
What do you see moving into the future in the next 2 or 3 years technology will do with export screening, perhaps?
Well, there's the physical process that has to be...
that's not really going to go away, is it?
Exactly, no.
We're all going to be moving cargo. As much as this AI might say it's going to take over, we're still going to be moving the cargo in a way.
Correct. So that physical process around cargo going through an X-ray machine, that can't change. And whether it's a freight forwarder or the ground handling agents, that will always be there. So no doubt there's wider implications for digitization in a whole range of areas which are exciting and certainly will reduce costs, reduce manpower in that AI field. So certainly Richard White at CargoWise is at the forefront of that, and a lot of companies that either utilise his software or add to his software. I think certainly there's some interesting opportunities in that area.
Maybe a question for you. What threats do you think that we'll see in the next couple of years or to our freight forwarding industry?
Oh, look, the threats I'm seeing, especially around export screening, is more lithium batteries going through. I'm not so much concerned at the moment about IEDs and things like that from an export security perspective, but just there's more and more battery products going around, and from a screening perspective, these need to be identified and looked at. So look, we're going to be happy to be participating with that. We're going to expand our presence, offer a great service here in Sydney, or when we're in Sydney, but also beyond as well. If there's opportunities elsewhere around Australia, we'll certainly go for it there.
A bit about UAC. So where are you located, and are you moving dangerous goods, ULDs yet? I'm sure that's a dream everyone wants to hear.
Well, UAC's been in the US since, was it 2021?
Correct.
I'd say 3 years now. We've got most of the major gateways covered out of there. So what we're doing now is really expanding into Australia. We're setting up a facility in Sydney first. Going to make sure that that's customs bonded so we can handle import cargo, and also all the accreditations we need for export. So we'll have IATA, RACA, all that sort of information.
Yeah, the list kind of goes on for a bit, doesn't it? But once you've ticked all the boxes, it's great for members of IFCBAA to know that you're a trusted partner to go to.
Yeah, well, the neutrality is right there for us. It's been there in the States for at least the last 3 years. Having been in wholesale myself before, fully understand the requirements for wholesale and to play by the rules with the wholesale, the whole neutrality side of things. So no, it's good. It's exciting. We're essentially new down here. We're a startup, so it's a good good feeling.
I guess it's admirable that it's hard when you first kind of get up and running, but once it's up and running, it will be great. Do you see that the export market in air freight is growing, or what do you see?
There's always constraints in the Australian export market because you look at a lot of the product we move out of Australia. It's not manufactured goods, it's some agricultural product, but certainly some mining products, and that's less air freight, more ocean or bulk. But there's always a significant imbalance, imports versus exports, and exports are only a small percentage of the imports we have. So, clearly there's some perishable products that are still significant requirement for export air, but in terms of manufactured goods, there are limitations. So it's a small export market compared to import, but still very interesting for us as an initial export provider, especially from that screening perspective. But small but important market on the export
We're also
side.
seeing opportunities with e-commerce exports as well.
Yeah.
So there's quite an emerging e-commerce market, been going since COVID, and still hanging around. So there's a lot of online retailers out there that love to send their freight out. A lot of forwarders out there that want to get amongst it, and we're here to support those guys.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for coming along and supporting IFCBAA.
Thanks, Natalie.
Thanks, Natalie.
Thank you. Cheers.